let us introduce you to a land rich in language, culture, traditions, and unbeatable skill, where every sunrise opens up to lush green fields and a million sparkling eyes, all set to make another today better than another yesterday. However, for so many, this sunrise can be seen, but its warmth not redeemed. Each day, so many eyes open into a painfully cold land of misery and poverty. And then, so many return home with empty hopes and faded dignity. While for you and I, this might just be a story, there's someone out there who dared to disagree. It is only sometimes that the world finds people who have a dream. This is a story of one such exceptional person who had a remarkable dream and then set out to live it. This is a story that has touched the lives of millions all across Southeast Asia. This is the story of a man with bottomless compassion, a man called Shoaib Sultan Khan.
My mother had died when I was only 3 years old. तो जो मेरे नाना थे उन्होंने मुझे पाला और वो थे वहाँ पर के यूपी में यूनाइटेड प्रोविंसेस में सिविल सर्विस में जो प्रोविंशियल सर्विस होती है वहाँ। तो बचपन से हमने सिविल सर्विस ही देखा और सिविल सर्विस के ज़माने में ज़ाहिर है जो डिप्टी कमिश्नर होता था उसकी तो कुछ आनी होती। इन इंडिया जब पार्टीशन हुआ, that was when I had just done matriculation, 1947. My father, whom I had not known, ना मैं उनके साथ रहा था, तो he probably approached my grandfather and said कि इसको आप मेरे पास भेज दीजिए। तो 1947 में मैं पहली दफ़ा उनके पास जाके और वहाँ गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज था, उसमें उन्होंने मेरा दाखिला करा दिया कि हाँ पढ़ें। So I studied for 2 years there. So then for 4 years I was at Lucknow University doing graduation and masters in English literature. उसी ज़माने में यानी जब when I was in undergraduate, I fell in love with someone. So yes, I got married in 1950 when I was just doing my first year in graduation. In 1953 I came over to Peshawar. Then in 1955, I got into the civil service, CSP. Hussain Shahid Said Wardi was the Prime Minister. तो उन्होंने सिर्फ ये लिखा कि all West Pakistanis should be posted to East Pakistan and all East Pakistanis to West Pakistan. तो सब हमें वहाँ भेज दिया गया East Pakistan. और that is what brought about this change in my life. उस ज़माने में एक गवर्नमेंट को USAID और फोर्ड फाउंडेशन ने ऑफ़र किया कि आप 2 एकेडमीज़ बना लें पाकिस्तान में, पाकिस्तान एकेडमी फॉर रूरल डेवलपमेंट, 1 in East Pakistan एट कुमिला and 1 at पेशावर। तो एक दिन जब मैं कोर्ट में बैठा हुआ अपने केसेस कर रहा था तो सडनली the reader came and said कि जी there are 5 people who have come, बड़े educated लग रहे हैं आपसे मिलने के लिए, and they introduced themselves, they were all PhDs। तो उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे डायरेक्टर ने भेजा है and he has said that we should only shadow you for 20 days। What you do as a sub-divisional officer, as assistant magistrate, we just want to, because our job is, the academy's job was really to train government servants. So the director was Akhtar Hamid Khan. So when I was getting back to Brahmanbadia to get onto the train, when I entered the compartment, I saw there was a rather very impressive looking person, but all clad in khandar, sitting there. Anyway, when I entered, he looked at me and said, "Who are you?" Now, I was a CSP officer, assistant commissioner. हमने बड़े शान से कहा कि I am the assistant commissioner of Brahmanbadia. तो हंसे, कहने लगा अच्छा you are Shoaib Sultan Khan, so I was shocked, how does he know my name? He said, well, I sent my faculty and they came back and they put you under a microscope, but you came out with flying colors. So that was my first introduction to Akhtar Hamid Khan. And you know, he was really simple living and high thinking. बल्कि जब वो, when I started trying to do what he was doing, I said to him that मुझे भी क्या आपकी तरह ये खद्दर वद्दर पहन करना पड़ेगा? तो कहने लगे कि बहरूपिया बनने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. It is your innate qualities and your work which will speak for yourself. So you know, that was my very close bonding with Dr. Hamid Khan. I had started a project called Dawzi Project. This program, Dawzi, became very famous in 2 years' time. But then, as it happens in Pakistan, there was jealousy, there were reports of all kinds. Dawzi was an area where the NAP, National Awami Party, had a stronghold. So they made it out that the academy is trying to create trouble for government. And one day, I got a report that I was made, an order that I was made OSD, Officer on Special Duty, to report to Islamabad. Akhtar Hamid Khan had come from there. For 2 years he had been with me. He was very disillusioned. He said, no, I want to leave. I was also very disillusioned. And I thought, well, that's time has come now for parting of the ways. So you see, I left Pakistan. I thought, well, that's the parting of the ways. I won't get a chance to do this work, what I had learned from Akhtar Hamid Khan. Because from Nagoya, before 6 months were over, UNICEF approached me that they wanted a social development consultant in Sri Lanka. They wanted me to come there and be there. And there was a Mahavali project which they were implementing. So I had gone there. And it so happened that in 1982, the Aga Khan Foundation Geneva wanted to start a program for Gilgit-Baltistan and Chitral, Aga Khan Rural Support Program. Now, their director of special programs, Bob Shaw, he came to Pakistan to then find someone who could then implement this program. And look at my luck. He goes to Akhtar Hamid Khan to ask that who will be the best person to do it. And Akhtar Hamid Khan said, well, there's only one person, but he's not in Pakistan. So he came to me in Mahavali. Bob Shaw probably persuaded His Highness. He wrote a personal letter to James Grant. And that's how I came on a 5-year deputation to initiate Aga Khan Rural Support Program in December 1982. And in my first meeting, this was at breakfast in the State Guest House. So I was there, he was there, and the chairman of the Aga Khan Rural Support Program Board of Directors, he was there. So I was quite surprised that he turned to me and he said, do you want him here? Pointing towards the chairman. I was a bit taken back. I said, Your Highness, yes, of course. He said, no, I want to make it very clear that this is my program and I don't want anybody to come in between you and me. If there is any problem, you have my permission to come directly to me. And later on, actually, when I asked him that how long would you like to support this program, he said as long as people want. maybe 25 years. Then I asked him that, Your Highness, I'm not a smiley. Why do you want me? He said, this is not a program only for smileys. He said that you see, in geopolitical terms, this area is very sensitive. And unless each and every household is helped, you cannot have islands of prosperity surviving. They said that the first 4 years of AKRSP are missed 4 years of all World Bank and other rural development programs in the world. Because we all go with a blueprint. Here was a process approach. It were people who were identified. And then after 10 years when they came, they said that in real terms, incomes have more than doubled. This was the year 1992, when the SARC heads of state, Premadasa was the Prime Minister. He persuaded the SARC heads of state to set up a commission called Independent South Asia Commission for Poverty Alleviation. Because he said poverty is so much and we must do something. The commission came here also. They looked at the World Bank report, then they saw AKRSP. They saw one thing more. Then in 1992, I got the Magsaysay Award, which is supposed to be the Asian Nobel Prize. I got a call from the Prime Minister's office in Gilgit. When I went to his office, I said कि देखिए ये आपको बुलाया तो है, but he will ask you कि इसको बाकी पाकिस्तान में कैसे करेंगे, तो आप कुछ लाएं. So I wrote one page as to how to replicate AKRSP countrywide. It was a 10 billion rupee program. And when I gave him that paper, he read it. कहता ठीक है, बस आप आ जाएं, मेरी गवर्नमेंट ज्वाइन कर लें. I'll give you all the facilities, जो कुछ भी आप चाहेंगे. तो जनाब वो नेशनल रूरल सपोर्ट प्रोग्राम बन गया. The person who came from UNDP New York was Mr. Henning Karcher. He was assistant resident representative here when I was implementing Dowsai. So he came to me after the meeting and says, Shoaib, Dowsai was like a spark, but now you have created a bonfire with AKRSP. Can't you take these lessons to South Asia? तो यहाँ पर पाकिस्तान की बात हो रही थी, वहाँ साउथ एशिया की बात हो रही. मैंने कहा, Henning, I can try, because what I have is the conceptual package. Doesn't matter whether it was AKRSP or it is South Asia. If there are poor, it will work. So the South Asia Poverty Alleviation Program was launched in 1994. Now coming to Akhuwat and coming to Amjad Saqib, in 1997 I got a call in Kathmandu from late Sultan, who was chairman of the Planning and Development Board, that the Chief Minister desires that when you are next in Pakistan, he would like to meet you. So I met him. And he said, well, I hear what you have done in AKRSP and this, and why can't we have something like that? So I said, yes, why not? I advertised, and a lot of people applied. Amjad was one of them who had applied, Amjad Saqib. There was a brigadier, there was so many, all kinds of. And obviously, I was very impressed by his dedication. So I selected him as one of the regional general managers. Now I just didn't feel comfortable about it, but I told him that what can I do? It's not UNDP which could have given me a grant. In a way, I mean, he was very much like Akhtar Hamid Khan. Akhtar Hamid Khan just resigned from ICS and said, all right. And he resigned and probably went to a mosque or something and got 10,000 rupees. So, that's completely, what Amjad has done is that he has given a new dimension to charity. People, instead of giving money, khairat, just for that, he has persuaded them that, look, give this money, but give this money in a manner that he could help somebody to really come out of poverty.
Known as the man of persistent, unshakable energy, he sat with the villagers and listened, faced every hazard and shared each one of their hardships, eventually being the cure to every heartache. Not only did Shoaib introduce the people to their potential to find a way out of poverty, but also showed them the power of unity. Because that, for Shoaib, was the only way to lift the entire community together.